Well, hey there, this is Chris Allison, and I'm going to be unpacking and setting up the Iridology camera. And so please forgive my messy desk and busy work. And whether you pull this out, it's like this here. The stand is here for the mounting plate. When I ship these cameras, I ship them with the attachment bolts in the bottom of the macro focusing rail and that face mount. And the tool that it allows you to attach it to the plate is found in here in the second layer of foam. So we're going to pull this out and pull the little bolt out of the bottom there like that. Now where this goes is in this top hole here. Now you're going to find two holes. One is close to the edge and one is further towards the middle. And you want to put this in the hole that's closer to the edge with the foam where your forehead is going to go facing out towards the people. So what I do is I just get this bolt started here using the face plate to hold the face mount to hold the plate out. Screw this in. Make sure that this here is parallel with the back and give it a quick tug like that. Now that's nice and tight, not too tight, but tight enough. Then you can put this down like this and it'll stand up by itself. Then it's time to get the macro focusing rail. So I'm going to pull the camera out first, put it aside because we don't need it quite yet. Pull the foam out because the foam is over a bolt that's in the macro focusing rail. So we'll pull this out. And here's the macro focusing rail. Okay, so the way that this is going to go in is it's going to go in with this 1-inch bar towards the back. So again, we're going to pull this little screw or bolt out, and then we'll put it in here and line it up and screw it in. That's like 5 or 6 or 7 turns or something like that. Then you're going to look straight down in here and make sure that this is pointed directly to the center of the post, which it is right now, and give that a little tug. Now the camera is set up like this. I'm going to put this aside for a moment. The chin rest will go in, and in the bottom foam, you'll notice there's this piece right here. And this piece, which is a little screw, it's a little stopper, goes in here on the back side of the face mount. And this is where the chin goes. So that's going to go facing the client. You screw it in so it's, snug, not too tight. Now, the camera is going to sit right here. Now, what you're going to do is pull this back and make an opening in the top to allow the plate to go in and hold the camera steady. There is a safety mechanism, which is this little silver bar there, which I think you can probably see. Let's see. Oh gosh, the mount is in the way. All right, so you pull that back and pull this back, and then click. You're going to hear a little click. This brass plunger comes up and holds it in place. Then you can take the camera, and the camera has a mounting plate on the bottom. And this part of the mounting plate is going to slide up underneath here. This mounting plate is going to be held in place by that little lever there. So what you do is you line this up here so that this side slides under, and then push it down, and you notice that this little arm comes slapping back a little bit. Give it a little bit of a tug there. You don't want to make it too tight. You can push the safety mechanism over there, so if anybody pulls this by mistake, the camera doesn't fall out. That's a really handy thing. Then, these fiber optics get put back on the little cradles. And there they go, just like that, in the cradle. So, is that it? Oh, no. Okay, this is the side light battery pack. And the side light battery pack is going to mount to the side of the flash. The way that I have it, this is the flash unit right here. The way I have it set up is it'll mount right there just like that. And the way that you turn this on is you flip that switch. That's on now. The way that you turn the flash on is you flip that switch. That's on now. You might hear a little bit of a whine as it ramps its voltage up, and then you'll see a little red light there, and then the little red light means it's ready to flash. Whoop, there you go, it just flashed. So the camera you turn on with that little knob right there. You can see this comes on. You push the button halfway down. Oop, is it on? Here it's on. Push the button halfway down. You can see the settings on the camera. And this camera is set up with 200, an f14, and ISO 100. That's the way this was set up the best. So then you look through this viewfinder. You will use this knob here to focus the camera on the iRide. So as you're looking through this port to see the iRides, you're going to move this back and forth to focus perfectly. When you've focused, you push the button, it takes a picture. You'll see the picture of the eye here, and that'll let you know whether or not you got it in focus or not. Then when you go to take a picture of the other eye, you move the knob in the front to move it to the other side. Sometimes the eye and the camera aren't lined up exactly on the vertical plane, so you take this knob on the side and you turn the knob to raise the camera up and down. And the way it's set up right now, it raises up nice and smoothly. It stays in place. If the adjustments loosen up so that the camera doesn't stay where you'd like it, there's a knob here which creates a little bit of tension on the friction point, and you can, oh, see, I loosened it up and it went down. You can create a little bit of tension in it so that it stays where you want. There, that works quite well. There are a couple of other screws. You're going to see very, very small Allen head screws, one here, one there, and those are separate adjustments to create tension on a friction plate. If those loosen up, which they generally don't, but if they do loosen up for some reason or another, you will find a very small Allen wrench right here buried in the foam. You will find it there. And that Allen wrench will allow you to turn that tiny little adjustment to create a little more friction on the friction plate so that the camera stays where it's supposed to stay. You're also going to find that there's an additional screw here in case you misplace one of the ones that are in the equipment now. I always recommend, as you're packing up your camera, that you take the screw out of the bottom and then directly put it back in so that you always have the screw in place so you don't lose them. So that you always know where they are. So that's basically it. The adjustment to focus comes here. The adjustment to change the eye is here. The adjustment to raise the camera up and down is here. And I guess the one other thing that you want to pay attention to is this. I'm going to unhook the camera. I'm going to move the safety latch over so I can completely unhook the camera, making sure I'm holding on to it. Always make sure you're holding on to it. So here's the thing about focusing with the camera. Turning the flash off, that's off, everything is off. Very good. Okay, well, now the camera is on. Okay, so your eye can see as you see. My eye might be different than your eye. Your eye might be different than a client in your office's eye. And so the purpose of this viewfinder is to focus the camera on the irides. Now, if all of our eyes are different, we have to be able to adjust the camera to our eyes so the camera is taking consistently in focus images for you every time. And the way that you do that is you will push this button down halfway, and inside the viewfinder you're going to see some numbers on the bottom of the viewfinder. As you're looking at those numbers, they may be in focus, they may not be in focus, but if they are not completely and absolutely in focus, there is a knob right here. And there's a knob on the side. I don't know if you can hear it. You probably can. But what happens is this little knob ratchets a tiny little lens inside the camera, in and out, and it allows you to focus your eyes to this camera so that you can take absolutely in focus images every time. If you loan the camera to somebody else or somebody in your office, they're going to have to make sure they adjust their eyes to the camera, otherwise they're going to get out of focus images and wonder why. This is a very important part of the assembly process that you are going to go through. I have set this up for my eyes. Your eyes may be my eyes, like my eyes, but they're probably not. You're going to get to turn the camera on, push this button down, that you take the pictures halfway down, that'll illuminate the numbers in here. You will look through the viewfinder and move this little adjustment around so that you can see those numbers absolutely in focus. Now, that may take a little time for you. Sometimes when you're just getting used to it, you're almost there and then the numbers go away. And you go like, oh my goodness, the numbers have gone away. Well, all you do is you push that button down again, the numbers will come back. You've got about 5 to 7 seconds before the numbers go away. If you get to do it again, if you're not quite satisfied or you want to verify that they're in focus, push the button down again, you'll see the numbers and adjust again. So there you go. Here's the camera. That is how you set it up. And I hope it was interesting and educational and at least a little bit fun. So thank you, take care, have a wonderful day, and I'll look forward to talking with you soon.